I see his face in the mugshot. Straight ahead, from the side, with a number. His turbulent hair, disheveled. The only thing missing is a dove above, raging and delicate. Known to history as the soul of Spanish anarchism, Buenaventura Durruti is a man carrying the future in his heart and a gun in every pocket. Born into a world on the brink of revolution and 2 world wars on the 14th of July, 1896, Durruti was described by his teachers as a mischievous and affectionate child with a heart full of noble sentiment. When asked of his early years, Durruti replied, "Since my most tender age, the first thing I saw was suffering, not only in my family, but also among our neighbors. Intuitively, I became a rebel." The son of a railway worker and apprentice to a radical blacksmith, Durruti grew up learning the principles of mechanics hand in hand with the tenets of revolutionary socialism. At age 17, he joined the Metal Workers' Union and soon was striking in solidarity with the celebrated and powerful Asturian miners. Yet in 1917, everything turned dark, when in response to a nationwide general strike, the Spanish king, Alfonso XIII, ordered government troops to machine gun the Asturians and anyone else who stood in the way of forcing the miners back to work. Facing government repression and military conscription, the young Durruti declared, "The king will have 1 less soldier and 1 more revolutionary." The surviving miners smuggled the young Durruti, already wanted for desertion, to France, where he lived in exile, taking every opportunity to sneak back across the border and support the Asturians in their struggle for life, liberty, and dignity. As class war erupted across Spain, Durruti quickly gained a reputation as a modern-day Robin Hood, carrying out numerous daring robberies and battling bosses, soldiers, mercenaries, gunmen, and stealing more than 500,000 pesetas from the Bank of Spain. A more than hefty sum, which Durruti quickly and quietly gave away to struggling families, radicals, and revolutionaries to provide for food, schooling, and the purchase of much-needed weapons for the coming civil war. Soon, Durruti became a hero of almost mythical significance to Spain's downtrodden, and a hated bandit, assassin, and firebrand in the eyes of the powerful and wealthy elites who ruled over them. A born leader who hates the very idea of leaders, Durruti is charismatic, jovial, and deeply committed to his struggle for freedom and justice. And it is this passionate struggle to birth a new and better world which has prompted him to carve a swath of revolutionary violence across 5 countries and 2 continents. On the way, assassinating anti-union triggermen, the corrupt bishop who paid them, and carrying out a failed attempt on the life of that very same King Alfonso XIII. Thrown into a French prison and facing both extradition and execution, Durruti was saved by a committed workers' movement and legal technicality. And when the war Durruti had prepared for his entire life broke out in the form of a fascist coup, the soul of Spanish anarchism returned to his native country and led the people of Barcelona against their own invading military. And impossibly, mystifyingly, Durruti led them to victory. For the first and only time in recorded history, a modern, mechanized, professional army was decisively defeated by a force comprised of ordinary people defending their homes. A handful of farmers and factory workers armed with handmade bombs and antique rifles stopped the fascist war machine dead in its tracks. And under Durruti's leadership, along with the rest of the anarchist militants, known collectively as the CNT-FAI, the entire city of Barcelona was collectivized, leading to a spontaneous outpouring of revolutionary joy that shone with the promise of a new golden age of freedom and equality, which a young visiting writer by the name of George Orwell recognized instantly as a state of affairs worth fighting for. Thus the blacksmith, bandit, and international fugitive became the custodian of a miracle. And soon, Buenaventura Durruti found himself at the head of a force of 10,000 anarchists in a desperate march to safeguard their revolution and rescue the city of Madrid from the fascist general known as Francisco Franco.